My mother had surgery today.
Did
She made it. She survived.
Damn. Just kidding. Sorry. I couldn't pass up that opportunity.
You had to take it. It was right there.
Yeah, it was right there.
I'd be more pissed if you didn't take it.
Yeah. Be offended, actually.
Oh, hey, here's Frank.
Oh, hi, Frank.
Should I let Frank in?
Oh, hi, Mark.
You look confused, Frank.
It's like the startup time at work. You get 5 minutes to get in and get on the computer. You know what I mean? We should give him that.
Should we?
Should we? Fuck Frank. Who cares?
Ears into the show? Should we give him? He's sitting there waiting. I see him. I can see.
Does he even have his headphones on yet?
He's nodding. He's ready. He's talking, but I can't hear him. I don't give a shit if you're only 4 minutes late, Frank. I don't give a shit if you're 5 minutes late. It's 5 minutes late.
Ooh, Daddy's pissed.
Daddy's fucking pissed.
Hi, Francis.
He flipped me off. Fucking. You're off the show, Frank. Bye.
Yikes.
He's clapping like I'm joking. Fucking bye.
Oof.
All right.
Oof.
He doesn't know I'm serious yet. He's looking around confused. You good, Frank?
Yeah, I hope you're not serious. I was joking.
I know. Like, be on time.
I was, dude. I was sitting there. I'm like,
you were not on time.
Yeah, dude. It said 10:01. I was 1 minute late. I'll give you that. 1 minute late I was, yes. And I was sitting there, I'm like, and then I typed yo, and that's when you noticed me. I typed in yo like 3 minutes later. Seriously.
All right.
You see that I don't have my Beats on because they were dead, so I had to plug them in. Of course.
Your Beats died?
Yeah.
Do you have legit Beats?
Huh?
Do you have legit Beats?
Yeah.
They're not my Beats by Vanilla Ice that I used to have. Those really shitty.
Beats by Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, they're the Studio 3s, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're really good.
Never knew that.
Yeah, they're wireless. They're brand new.
Are they worth the money?
Yeah, they're like $400. Yeah, it's very, very worth it.
I'm glad Jansen suggested these. Wouldn't have to spend $400 on headphones.
Well, dude, I mean, like, no, like they have like this like odd they have this like noise. You know how like a lot of headphones say, "Oh, noise canceling technology," right? And I guess that's just bigger ear pads, you know, right?
Yeah.
But these things, like, you can tell that it's listening because if you're not playing anything, it will like, you know, die down and you can hear outside shit. But then if you start playing things like that, like say I just play something that doesn't have any audio to it, but I am playing something, the beats all of a sudden, like you can hear something change in them, and then you can't hear nothing outside.
That's the difference. The ones that say noise canceling, as you say, just mean big suction cup around your ear.
Yeah.
Active noise canceling is when you turn it on and it blots out all the outside sound electronically.
Yeah, and that's what these
Change the mics is
cool.
so you can hear around.
What?
But you like yours so you can hear other things, don't you?
Yeah, mine are
pass through.
Open back.
Well, no. I mean, that's for podcasting. I have these beats in my ears all day, and these are $100. I mean, yeah, but they're wireless. You know, but these are for work. I usually only have one in, so I can hear everything else. So I know what Jansen's talking about. You like to hear other things that are going on in case somebody goes, "Yo, Jansen!" Like, oh, what?
I feel like I get a more volume of sound. I don't know how to express it. Like you feel like you're in the room. Yeah, you feel like you're in the room. You gotta try them out. They're great.
Yeah, I'll check them out. So if it's as great as you describe them, I definitely want to.
They're light as fuck too. I mean, these things are less than a pound. They're so light.
Like I've been seeing headphones like that where like the outside is almost like a mesh screen, you know, and you can
exactly what it is.
Is that what they are? Oh yeah. Okay, see, yeah, yeah.
Oh, should we begin our show?
Oh yeah, those. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like them so much. I even got Misty a pair. Now I got 2 pairs of the Beats thing. Beats 3. They're very nice.
$4 billion.
They're very comfortable too. But
Frank, do you have your iPod plugged in?
Yeah, and I got. I mean, there's not much.
Why you need to show up earlier.
Yeah, everything's cool.
Let's just say 45.
No, you don't need. No, you know, I was a little bit late is because like when I was recording, I had to go through 3 different microphones because for some reason the first one was really really bad. The second one had this click to it. So, but the third one was nice and quiet. So
just once, I wish Frank would just say I'm late because I was banging your mom.
You could give me a bullshit excuse.
Fucking say it, yeah. I was banging your mom and I couldn't get my shoes on fast enough.
I can lie like a motherfucker if you.
Adam told me he wishes, or Jansen told me he wishes my mom died in surgery today. I thought it was funny. You say you're fucking my mom.
We'd honestly prefer if you lied because the story would be shorter.
Yeah.
I was jerking off. Sorry, guys.
Thanks, appreciate it. All right, on to the show.
There you go.
iPad plugged in.
He said yes.
Okay. Oh, I just want to make sure.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Tonight a presentation.
Okay, good. Here we go. Introduction or theme song, then Frank.
Yes. What?
Hold
I'm
on.
kidding. I know.
I'm waiting for it to play.
I'm kidding.
I hit the button a while ago.
You're on a scenic route through a state recreation area known as the human mind. You ask a passerby for directions, only to find he has no face or something. Suddenly up ahead, a door in the road. You swerve, narrowly avoiding a scary door.
Bordering in Wonderland, the Twilight Zone review.
I have combined the DNA of the world's most evil animals to make the most evil creature of them all.
It turns out it's man.
Tonight a presentation so special and unique that for the first time in the 5 years we've been presenting the Twilight Zone, we're offering a film shot in France by others. Winner of the Cannes Film Festival of 1962, as well as other international awards. Here is a haunting study of the incredible from the past master of the incredible, Ambrose Bierce. Here is the French production of An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge.
And that's it. Hello.
What a pile of dog
LIW.
shit. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you continue.
I want to hear this. What?
Jansen, you have the floor for the next 20 minutes. Go ahead.
No, god damn it. Don't give me that much time. I just God, this was so fucking boring. I think I fell asleep like 6 times, dude. Sorry. That's you can finish your intros and then I'll go into it.
W episode 194 and Occurrence at Occurrence Bridge of 522. I'm Phoenix West.
I'm Brian Links.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
No, I'm Adam Wilcox.
Hi, it's episode 194. We've done a lot of these. Okay, well, as Rod said in the introduction, this is a French production he bought for $20,000, saved the show over $100,000, and then they offered him a season 5, and he said, "Go fuck yourselves." So that's the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to do something darker and ended up being the Night Gallery, which we got on ABC, I believe, later on. And it's fucking terrible. Don't watch a Night Gallery. Sorry if you're a Night Gallery fan. It's a fucking terrible show. It's I hate that show. I fucking hate that show. It's terrible. Cool painting.
What, like you didn't like you didn't like the whole earweevil episode?
I hate the entire show I've ever seen of it. It's a 70s gothic, which is just grimy and red and Victorian furniture galore, and it makes me feel like
there's a lot of haunted paintings too, and you know how much we love those on this show.
Yeah, Fairy Tales from the Cryptish obviously came out beforehand, not the comics, but the show. But fuck Night Gallery, and eventually we'll get to those Night Gallery episodes after done with season 5 here.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking floored and confused that Jansen hated this, and it makes me think his opinion is invalid.
It's not okay. So here's
I gave it a 9. Let's say that right now.
Here's the thing.
I'll say it right now too.
I went into this episode full on knowing it's not a Twilight episode, whatever. So give it some slack. That being said, I know you guys have high expectations or you hold this episode up high. I don't know why. I'm willing to hear why. And hopefully you can help change my mind. I thought the production quality was shit. I thought that the
front.
Yeah, I mean, it just the whole okay. The first this show or this episode had me up and until the fucking slow-mo montage. Okay, we talk about the slow-mo montage for just a second.
Go ahead.
This they do a slow-mo montage, but it's not actually slowed down or sped up or whatever you're supposed to do with slow-mo. The dudes are literally over there walking like this.
I noticed that too. I'm like,
what the fuck is going on here? We had the technology.
We did, but it was expensive as hell, dude. You know how much, like, how many frames a second camera would that have to be slow mo?
I don't know, but even still, it was just such trash. Like, okay, if we don't have the money for it, why even do it? Is my question. Like, it didn't add any value to the story to me personally, or the artistic value that it won Cannes Film Festival, whatever. Fuck, but beyond that, I just. One, I saw it coming a mile away. I knew what was going to happen the minute he fell. I knew this entire story before it even happened. I don't know if you guys caught on to that. I have to be honest. I did not see the ending coming to this. Oh, really? Yeah. I saw it a mile away. But
wow, what tipped you off? I'm curious because I'm sorry.
I think this is partially because it's a Twilight Zone episode, which when I saw this episode, it was my first film class, and they just showed it, and we just watched it. So I'm watching it. I'm like, wait, what the? Oh my god! It's like so I didn't expect a twist because I wasn't thinking Twilight Zone twist.
Sure,
right.
I just watched it blank, and then I found out later it's a Twilight Zone episode. So I think maybe that's kind of what Jansen was thinking. Because if he didn't know the Twilight Zone, he wouldn't be thinking twist, because we all know Twilight Zone equals twist most of the time.
For sure. Like, I mean, you could say that about any one of these episodes, though. If they were just a standalone, their own thing, I don't necessarily think I'd be watching them with the same mindset. That being said, I am. That's why I'm here, right? So I knew that something was coming. So what's the only thing that could happen? Dude's dead. Period.
Right.
He's not dead,
I would say the only reason I didn't expect it is because they preface it so much that it's not a Twilight Zone episode. That it had nothing to do with the TZ. It was made before, this was made with no intention of it ever being on the Twilight Zone.
This is made like season 2 or 3, somewhere in there, 61. So season 2 or 3, like between.
I'm done bitching about it. I just didn't love it. I thought like it had potential. I just feel like this was laziness again, is what I felt like.
How is it laziness?
Throwing this episode into the show, like, hey, we don't have the money for making, an actual episode. So here, watch this thing that won a film festival.
I could see how you feel that way, but however, he watched this before it had won any awards. He watched this. I guess I was reading the story earlier, and he like walked away from shooting something like an introduction to something else. They were almost done with the season. They had one extra slot, and he walked over to French Film Festival, saw this short, and he goes, "I want to buy this," and he did that before it won any awards.
Rod saw
So I could see how you would say lazy, but it's just not. It's not what actually happened. I would see why you would see.
No. I don't think that the film itself was lazy. No, I just think that the reason it's on the.
No, I agree. I know what you're saying, but it's not actually what happened. It wasn't.
I will say the one thing that pissed me off more than anything was like the last 5 or 6 minutes. There's this montage of him and her running to each other, and I wanted to punch my fucking screen with how many times they showed the same fucking clip of each of them running towards each other. I was so mad. I was like, please stop it. Please stop it. They're not that far away from each other. They're like maybe 30 feet apart. This is ridiculous. Please stop it.
And then you realize that's not reality.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew it wasn't reality, but at the same time, I was like, okay, drop the other fucking shoe already, because this is getting old.
And they kind of did drop the other shoe.
They dropped something.
They dropped 2 shoes and a large man. Yeah. And way too clean of a suit to be hung in. I mean, I've been hung in many suits, if you know what I mean. I know.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Change my mind. I'm happy to change my mind. I just say I feel like I don't know. Maybe I just got a bitter taste in my mouth, because the majority of what I've watched of the Twilight Zone, the old series, has been this season. So maybe I'm just bitter.
Yeah, you would, because you really need to watch 1 and 2 and a lot of 3, man, because it's so much better.
No,
Really?
I told Phoenix, like, if we end up having any sort of hiatus, I'm going to do my best to catch up. Even if we don't, I need to start forcing myself just to sit down and do it. I've just been putting it aside. So,
like, literally, dude, like, I would say 9 out of the first 10 episodes are just classic top 20s. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It isn't okay.
Phoenix
No,
disagrees.
I agree, but me and him have totally different, thoughts on, 13 millimeter shrine. So there you go. But
that fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Oh,
we agree on that one.
Oh, I thought you liked it. I don't know why.
No.
Anyways,
you,
that's where I stand. Like I said, change my mind. I want to hear what you guys have to think. So let me know what your thoughts are. I already know Phoenix and Frank's feelings about it.
That's what I was going to say. Let Adam go.
What's Adam think?
I like it. I did. I really enjoyed it a lot, knowing full well what it was going into it. I like the atmosphere. I love the cinematography on this one. I did not see the twist coming. Actually, what I thought was going to happen is I knew the guy was going to die because they were just, this is Twilight Zone, and this guy's just got way too much luck being thrown at him here. And what I thought was going to happen is during the slow motion where you were like just virtually annoyed to death, I thought he was going to get shot in the back as he was running towards her. Because it was just that for me, that slow motion, that replay of the clip was building tension for me.
Yeah. And it built the tension. Yeah. I just want to jump in there and say it built the tension, but the only thought that I had was like, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe he's now in purgatory and he's going to be stuck running towards her for the rest of his life or whatever his existence is. That's the only thought that I had.
I was actually more aggravated that the rope snapped. I'm like, you had like an entire platoon set up to do this one fucking thing and you blew it. This is literally the worst platoon in the army. You can't hang one guy off the side of a bridge. The rope snapped. You can't shoot him. You can't kill the guy. What is wrong with you? You can't aim. You can't shoot. Way too good.
They had a cannon.
They had a fucking cannon. They had multiple muskets. What the hell?
Why.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
They could have had a T-Rex and a fighter jet, and it wouldn't have mattered because it wasn't real.
I was not pissed by the ending because it brought us back to reality. So I was not upset by this ending. It made more sense to me. The only thing that I didn't like about this episode, and I mean the only thing, the rest I thought was beautiful. I did not like the folk song that they played a couple of times during
God, that was garbage.
I get it. It's 1968 atmosphere. 61. But that song, I hate folk music. I just fucking despise it. And whenever folk music is being played,
French people,
it would have been one thing.
French people playing folk music in the 60s.
It would have been one thing if they had any of the lyrics rhyme.
And the leaves fell, and I watched the veins in the leaves.
And it's probably translated from French, which is why it didn't rhyme.
Kind of hot and stacked, and he has two kids who gives a shit about them. He doesn't care, and he fucks her.
Yeah, it would have been one thing if any of the lyrics at all rhymed together and made any sort of semblance of a real song.
And I'm surprised that you like this episode, Phoenix, because they zoomed in on that spider quite a bit, and I was kind of getting a little bit of the willies, man. I could feel some hair standing up on the back.
Daddy long legs, though.
Yeah.
What, you mean the most venomous spider on Earth? Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about Danny Longlegs, though.
I know. They're all over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I think if I was going to score this, it's not one of my favorite episodes because, as we've established, it's not really a Twilight Zone episode. I don't think it's fair. So I think a fair score would be a 7 out of 10 from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, Phoenix, what is this bullshit? Fire Jansen, get the fuck out of here.
Hashtag Fire Jansen.
I will jump back into this and say that with all the issues that I had with the episode, I would say that there were cinematic qualities to it that were very good and very well done, and I thoroughly enjoyed a lot of that.
And that's going to be mostly what I talk about. But
however. I just thought the execution of the story itself was poorly thought out.
Okay. Frank. Now that Frank and I are on ones, I can't believe, Adam, you gave it that much praise and you only gave it a 7.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to give it an 8, then I'm looking at classic episodes, and I don't know if this falls into a classic episode. If I was going to judge it as a movie, should I judge it as a movie or an episode of Twilight Zone?
I judge it what it is, and I judge.
Okay, if I'm going to judge it as a movie, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Okay, I don't think we're quite to the 9 level yet. Okay,
I mentioned you guys weren't on the show yet. Everybody on the right side of the screen. Frank and I talked about how I said this episode should not be judged as Twilight Zone because it's not.
See, I didn't know that going into it.
I didn't tell you guys. I was just
okay. Yeah, it's a movie. Then I'll change my score to 8. 8 out of 10 because it's not perfect. It's dated for the time because of that whole 60s atmosphere, folk music type of deal. That's not my jam. Okay, but I do appreciate what it did. I think it was done well as a film. Definitely an 8. As a Twilight Zone episode, it's a 7.
What is your jam? Strawberry or grape?
I'll tell you after the show.
I've never seen a grape jam. It's only grape jelly.
No, grape jam is the jam, dude. Because
I've never seen a grape jam. Does that exist?
It does, because
I can never the fuck find it.
I'm telling you, it exists. It's in my fridge. It's great. It spreads so much easier.
He's done. Frank,
go. All right. The reason why this is a masterpiece, right? It's an indie film from France. So let's give it a little bit of a leeway on, what we here in America.
Am I supposed to give it a higher score because it's from France? Because I don't think that's fair.
No, it's not fair. I'm just saying, I know that, like the slow-mo thing, they did that because it's an indie film from France. They just don't have the money for a slow-mo high-speed camera. You know what I mean? Like, so fine, they did it. Yeah, I get why they did it.
Some indie films are great, and some indie films are just pretentious, just for the sake of being pretentious. I didn't really get too much of that off this, but a little bit of it. Yeah, a little bit. Just
for crying out loud, Pulp Fiction was an indie film at one point. Honestly,
I love that movie.
Yeah. Phoenix, shut up! Don't shake your head at that.
Miramax made that fucking movie. What are you talking about? Indie film. Reservoir Dogs is an indie film.
How big was Miramax?
That's a good one too.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. And okay, so it was even better because I think Reservoir Dogs was one of his best work.
I agree.
It was under advertised was the issue. That's why it's such a cult classic.
What?
Pulp Fiction.
That's true. I mean, but I saw it in the films though. But then again,
in the films.
Yeah, where you go to see the talkies.
Yeah, talkies, and you get those picture shows. And you watch it, and you pay a popcorn fee, and you watch pictures with your lad and your lady.
Yeah, where you go to spend $50 to see a horrible Star Wars film. Yes.
Yeah, then you cut a hole in the pocket, you get a little movie theater rub and tug. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, damn right. It's America. We're talking about America, right?
Yeah, you sneak.
I especially like the theaters where they smell like mushrooms.
Yeah,
that's a reference to something nobody understands.
I don't get it. Can you explain that one?
I don't know. The last theater I went to, it smelled like mushrooms. There was like mildew in there or something.
That was a personal reference.
Oh, okay. So that was an inside joke.
You guys thought that was a pop culture reference, but it wasn't.
The way you said it was.
Here's Adam. Here's the wall. Here's Adam's comment. Just like 500 feet away from the wall, just completely off of it.
See that one on my head?
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Ooh, it didn't even come close to my head, but I was still scared.
She's like,
I went to the movie theater and I turned on the camera because like nobody was in there yet, and I'm like, I'm at the movie. I'm going to see the world's worst movie this year, right? Like I went to go see Black Christmas or something like that, or Terminator Judgment Day or one of those. And I'm like,
who?
I'm scared. It smells like mushrooms in here. There's nobody in here yet. Yeah.
He means Dark Fate.
Dark Fate. That's it. Dark Fate.
Yeah, I was like, T2 was great. I saw it 4 times.
No, T2 is perfect. Yeah.
T2 is the only movie I ever went 4 times to a theater.
Guys, go what the fuck. Frank, go.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. It's everyone's interrupting all of us.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you.
I'm not. I'm being a good boy.
You were talking to. Fuck you. Go,
no,
Frank.
The reason why I really like this, the reason why I like this is, I it was suspenseful. It kept like I wanted to know what was about to happen. I did not. Oh, Wendy's, good God. Ugh. Anyway,
I was interrupting today when I went to fucking Wendy's.
Everybody mute except for Frank.
There you go. So, yeah. The reason why I thought it was so good, it just like it kept me on the edge of my seat the whole damn time. It's like I didn't know what was about to happen. I didn't think, the ending was going to be. And again, like Twilight Zone, it's something like there's always a twist, right? So, but the twist, I don't know. They still live somehow, but they learned something. This guy's just straight up dead. So, you know what I mean? And it does make me wonder because, I mean, who hasn't thought about death, right? Who hasn't thought about what happens that second break as you die, you know? Does your life flash before your eyes? Is this a life flash before his eyes? Is it, or does like, you know, your best fantasy or what you want to happen will happen? Why are you guys talking? Don't screw me up. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it was just if it kept me entertained. I like that I like minimalist entertainment that is very creative, and that's what this was. No dialogue, very creative, and then at the end, I was like, wow. They killed him. He's dead. Like I'm watching a dead man swing. Like, and it was looked really good. I mean, a lot of times when you see people hang on TV, it's really fake looking. Like you can tell. This looked really good. I'll give him that. Like the effect of him being hung. I'm like, they really just execute like a murderer for this episode. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they killed him. He's dead.
I shot a hanging sequence in my film school like project, you know, and it's fucking hard.
I know, dude.
It's so hard that make it look real because otherwise it looks like
exactly
that sort of shit.
But like Phoenix, like you at least saw the beginning episode of Dark, right, where he hung himself.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That's the best hanging scene I've ever seen in my life. Like I don't know how they did that. Like that looked like a man.
Nowadays you have CG, you can just go, bloop, and it's gone.
I know that's probably how they did, but it looked great. That's all I'm saying. But for 61.
I'd say this looks better actually because it was
exactly.
practical.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, because you know now I know all the tricks. 61, that's really top notch stuff right there, and that and that's no CGI.
I'm guessing what they did back then is put a board across his back, wire up to the bridge, have the real noose, but it's not actually hooked up to anything, and so he's holding there by a board.
Yeah,
they didn't show him drop on the noose for a reason.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there. His legs are tied. But yeah, continue.
But yeah, and then that's. I mean, it's not a very deep episode. There's not much to talk about it with as far as the story goes. It's just a man being hung, and then you see it snap, and he's running for his life, and I guess he wants to get to his woman. Somehow she knows it snapped. So. Like right when that sequence was, I'm like, what the heck am I watching? This is really interesting. What's going on here? And then at the end, I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense now. That's really cool. And I just thought it was a great premise. And sometimes things don't have to be so well written or anything. Sometimes they can just be well acted, and the acting tells the story. And that's what I saw. I liked it a lot. There you go.
Can we talk about for a second the lung capacity this guy has for a man who doesn't know that he's about to go into water?
It's not real.
I would say, when you're about to be hung, you go.
I know, but I was just so impressed. I was like, man, this dude's been under for like 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I had the same thought, but I knew the ending by the time I watched it, and I go, yeah, it's not real.
Yeah,
he could have been like in the Navy, and they kind of teach you to hold your breath for a while.
It's pretty cool when they shot old underwater footage because they had to like literally rig something to be shot underwater. They didn't have just like underwater cameras.
Yeah, she did kind of.
Matt Vandermass says, "I thought the woman always looked like a little like a vampire to me."
She did. She looked a little bit like one of those French vampire type deals.
Gary Oldman's bitches.
Yeah, or that. Yeah. One of those Jean Reno bitches. Yeah.
Jean Reno.
Mm-hmm.
He's French too. Speaking of French, this is a French short. And the reason I love it so much, I will agree, Jansen, before we even start, that song is fucking terrible. The music is god awful. It doesn't work. It's so cheesy and like I was watching a twig and a twig.
I was the one that dogged on the song, by the way.
No, I dogged right along with you. I say
it's cool.
it would be fine. It would be fine if literally any part of that song rhymed. That is the complete downfall of the entire thing. Is that they did not
voice? It reminded me of that guy from the guys who was that? What was that band that used to sing that? Once there was this boy.
It was,
oh my god, dude, I just listened to that song 2 days ago off of Spotify. It's It's the Crash Test Dummies.
Crash Test Dummies. It reminded me of that, but like worse version of it.
Same exact time, Frank.
High five.
Yeah.
Crash Test Dummies.
Mike Nelson always does that in MSD.
Yeah.
His Crash Test Dummies voice. But anyway, we don't know if there's a French version out there, and it made sense in French. I don't know. A couple things we don't know, because it is a French film. We don't know if there's the translation. We don't know, because it is a French film made about the Civil War. So there's going to be a little bit of disconnect. Italy was obsessed with this thing and shit too. Like, look at Sergio Leone's movies, like his trilogy, the Man with No Name trilogies. They're obsessed with American Civil War for some fucking reason. Different countries. I don't know why, but they are. So there's a bit of a disconnect there.
We finally did it right.
Did what right?
Well, I think the country's better off for the North winning.
Yeah, definitely. But I just don't know why they're obsessed with showing that.
France was not better off with Napoleon. Just saying.
But why is this a French book written in like 1890, I believe? So I've never read the short story. I've never read anything about it. So I'm sitting there watching this the first time, and I'm watching it, and I'm going, this is the setup for like, and I'm glad you brought up Quentin Tarantino, Frank, because this is the setup for Tarantino. It sounds ridiculous, but it really is. When you watch a Tarantino scene, like the opening of Pulp Fiction, when Travolta and Samuel Jackson are talking about the French, I think that's why they reference French, talk about their cuisine and all their fast foods and how they call it this and that. This is an homage to this movie, kind of. Because this short from France from 1961 shows you how to create tension, because everything in this short is creating tension and expanding this little second of him falling there, expanding that and creating tension and confusing you so you're thinking about one thing, and that way you don't notice when Samuel Jackson and Travolta walk into the room and the guns go blazing. You're caught off guard by that. It's the same fucking thing. It's just minimized in this because of a budget, and their story didn't have those needs to have guns blazing. I mean, they did because of the guns going off, but they use simple things, and it's an indie film, so you get a lot of nature shots. You get a lot of the water going by and him going down in the river and going down like little waterfalls, and it's just creating tension. Where you're like, what the fuck is going to happen with this guy? I have no idea. It gets you thinking about something else other than what the eventual twist is going to be. And I think if, Jansen, you weren't thinking about Twilight Zone, you might be a little more lenient as far as not thinking about an ending, how a twist might be.
For sure. What I would say is I did my best to watch this episode with the knowledge that this is not a Twilight Zone episode. Like, I knew that going into it for sure. But I couldn't help but think about that, of course, because why else would it be, an episode or added to an episode list here, right? So I wish I could go back without that knowledge and just watch it and enjoy it and see what I think about it. I could tell you, like, I did enjoy it. It's not that I hated it. I just thought, like, man, some things I had issues with. I mean, just like you guys have problems with a lot of technical things that happen on other shows we watch, or not other shows, but like the new Twilight Zone stuff, or just schlocky bullshit that happens on other episodes that we've covered. Like that's kind of what I picked up on this one. And there was a lot of schlocky stuff that I'm like, I don't see it. So I would say that I appreciate your all's input so far, though. Like, I honestly, like, this is a 7 out of 10 for me. It's not super high up there or anything like that.
You made it sound like it was going to be a 3.
No, it's not like a 3. It's just I had so many problems with it versus so much of it that I liked. So it's hard for me to answer exactly where it falls on that scale. But it's not that I overall hate it. I just had some major issues with it.
I also, as like a student of film, where I watch everything, and I've watched and I think about it in a timeline. Like, Citizen Kane is fucking amazing for all the advances they had with his cameras and everything. Like, as far as he literally would dig a hole in the ground, and he was the first person to really think about like perspective from the camera's point of view. Like, this character's supposed to be in a position of power. Let's have the camera lower and looking up at him. That's in 1941. That sort of shit, where it spoke and it taught people later on how to make movies. Like, this is what we should probably do. That makes sense. This short is along in the same vein as Citizen Kane for me. Not as good, obviously. I'm just saying.
Can I just ask a question? Like, you said you watched this in your film class. What did your professor say why he showed it to you?
Pretty much what I'm saying, but you know, he was really short. It was a community college, dude. He wasn't sitting there like making us write. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it was a community college, and he kind of said like, you know, this is why I showed this movie, and it was really simple shit. So, but it was kind of.
But it was like the first time they did it. They kind of pioneered techniques, basically. This was a pioneering technique kind of short film. Yeah.
The reason they showed it is because they were showing movies like, here's the base for cinema, like the bottom basement level. And that was Citizen Kane, we should watch the week before, this movie the next. And it was, you know, similar things to that Psycho the next week. Things like that, where they're like, people learn from this, and everything you watch now is based on this foundation.
I had a humanities class in the 90s, and that was one of the ones that they showed us was Citizen Kane. It was one of those the first classes where they had done the closed circuit thing, where they would have multiple classes from different campuses tuned in at the same time. So the classroom that I was in was basically a fancy movie studio, where he was up front and he had like a headset on and cameras and lights pointed at him and shit. But I liked that Citizen Kane movie so much that I went out and bought it that day, and I actually have like the collector's Blu-ray of it. And I know how you mean. It's like you see something like really old and it speaks to you somehow. I felt that for sure.
I also I don't want to bring it up because I want to put, and I don't have a clip for it yet, but I'm a big fan of John Frankenheimer, and it's the same.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Tell us
I'm not going to praise him. I'm just saying it's because his first movies are black and white, and it's the same kind of idea where it's simple shots and weird in angles that speak for your movie. And this one, like where he's in the beginning, where the one guy's standing on the board, and you're like, oh, he's gonna step up, and then the other guy walks up and stands on the board, and the other guy steps off. I was like, oh, okay, we didn't fall yet. And he walks to the back of the board, and this keeps drawing out this situation. It's exactly what Tarantino's doing nowadays. Like, watch his movies, like Christoph Waltz in the beginning of Inglourious Bastards, where they're sitting there talking, and we know, the audience knows what's below them, and we're like sitting there like, oh shit, is he gonna find out? That drawing of tension is exactly what this episode is that you see later on in film. And this was made on a shoestring budget in France in the 60s with like 16 millimeter film. This thing looks like shit most of the time. It's grainy, and you see little pops and buzzes there. And it sounds good, like the guns and stuff. The audio is fucked up.
I was going to say the audio is pretty good, actually.
It's good, but
sound
there's a big hint there where the second time you watch it, you're realizing it. Oh, that's why that sounds like that, because it's not real. It's like, get him. He needs, they're talking slow motion because it's not fucking real. And it's literally that moment from him falling to that 12 feet to the bridge at the bottom of the noose. It's slowed down, like
when that first soldier was walking onto the bridge, and you could hear his boots hitting the bars as he's walking across the tracks. That was pretty amazing.
If you like Inception, I guarantee Christopher Nolan has watched this and used that for his stuff in Inception.
I just want to say also, this is one of like the very earliest style type of shorts or movies, whatever you want to call it, where most of the time, the video camera, you're not supposed to think that it exists. You know what I mean? You're watching something, but this one makes it feel like you are the camera watching what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
it's in the water.
Yeah. And and just a lot of things were never shot that way before. So I think that's why this was also revolutionary in a way. It kind of made the audience, it almost broke down the third wall in a slight way, because it was aware of itself, because it was making you feel like you were part of, like, what you were seeing was your own eyes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Fourth wall.
Oh, fourth wall. I'm sorry. There's a lot of walls. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. What was it? What was that? The ones.
Not as much as Man in the Box, or What's in the Box.
What's in the box? Oh, I mean, yeah, that's going to be bad. That's all it's going to be. But no, I'm trying to think of. You threw out me on what the hell I'm trying to remember. Anyway,
what I do.
Someone else talk. Yeah, I'm done. There we go. I don't know where I was going with that at the end, but I did have a point.
Something about a seventh wall. I don't know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. The superhero movie. I hate superhero movies, but the one that I did like was with Ryan Reynolds. Was the last one's.
Deadpool.
Thank you. Yeah,
Green
Deadpool.
Lantern. Oh
God, no, that never happened. It never happened. So no, but like, what would he say? Like, was that's like 11 walls? Remember that? So I don't know. Like, I don't know what the walls mean. Well, I know what they mean. I just don't know how many they are. So if you're saying that's fourth, then okay.
No, you're good. I agree. The camera, the way it follows into the river. I won't speak much more because we need to stop because I really didn't think we'd have anything to talk about in this episode. So that's why I planned 3 for today.
But we're all talented motherfuckers. So.
Yeah. So we're at 40 minutes. Which means we have 30 minutes of podcast material. I just want to say, I like the way it's shot. It's like I said, it's really fucking cheap. And it's just, it's a little bit of, as viewed through today's lens, we look at it as a little pretentious, like showing the twig down the stream. But this is 1961. Like that shit wasn't around.
Yeah.
So it's literally the first.
This shit made this shit pretentious.
Exactly. You're watching pretentious happen on the screen. It wasn't pretentious at the time. So like, we have to show something because our story is so minimal. I like things that are minimal, and it stretched out to a point where it wasn't too long. It wasn't bloated like much of season 5. I wasn't going, fucking hurry up. I was just going, I mean, I watched this 10 times by now. So I'm sitting there watching it going, and I was kind of in and out of the room because I've already seen it, and I don't really need to watch it again, you know? And I like the way it's shot, and I like the way it's acted, and there's minimal dialogue, and there's not a whole lot going on. But that personally, that works for my taste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself. The whole minimalist thing, you know, like less is more kind of.
I guess that's kind of where I should draw it back to. Then it's not that I didn't like it; it's just that I can respect it for what it is. It's just not to my taste. I think is what I really should have said from the beginning.
Fair enough.
And that's fine.
Yeah, totally cool.
Okay, I'm gearing up our
outro.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Since there's not a whole lot of talking in this episode, obviously I do my
oh, cool.
I do my filthy Twilight Zone things, which are deleted scenes from the original show. They did not make the air. This is probably my favorite one out of the 7 I've done now.
The last one was hysterical, by the way.
This one I really like because this mom says some great shit. But here we go. This is a deleted scene of Filthy Twilight Zone from what's this episode called, Frank?
Oh, is this the Christmas one?
Night of the Meek. Night of the Meek.
Yeah, shot on video.
It looks terrible. This is video for you, but here we go. It's only 59 seconds.
Corwin, you're an hour late.
I am?
Now you get up on your throne and see if you can keep from a lot of kids that not only isn't there a Santa Claus, but the one in this store happens to be a would be more old than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now get with it, Santa Claus.
Go ahead, you climb up in his lap. Go ahead. He won't you, will you, Santa Claus? You won't, my little boy.
No mother would be pushing her son towards that man.
This is indefensible. And you have my abject apologies. I find of late that I have very little choice in the matter of expressing emotions. I can either or I can and is so much more subtle.
Will you please leave?
But as for my insubordination, I was not rude to that.
That ends on such a perfect note.
It's a prequel to Bad Santa.
Oh, I love it.
Great episode. I watch it every Christmas.
Yeah. I just want to say before we go, before we play our outro, this man is hung. Yeah, use your clips. Save that and play it as much as you want. This man is hung. He's hanged for the crime of interfering with a bridge or train. That's it. The opening is like interfering with a train or bridge is you will die. Will hang your
confession.
ass.
I had to rewind the what I was watching to read the sign again because I was trying to figure out why are they killing this guy. Oh,
The French didn't.
he didn't read the sign.
I mean, he couldn't read English.
I felt like they could have come up with a better reason than that because it's just like, damn, all this build up, all this build up, and this dude is just fucking hung just for being around a train yard or whatever the fuck he's doing.
It's the French. They murder for less.
Laws restricted back in the 1800s, Jansen.
What's that? What?
Said the French mostly want to use the guillotine. They don't want to hang you.
Well, I mean, they even killed the guy who created it because he created it. I mean, come on now.
Oh, he shouldn't have created it.
Yeah, you created this thing that kills people, you asshole. Get in there.
But ironically, they don't use the guillotine on Napoleon.
No, they send them off to different islands.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I guess respect.
Your history, guys, on the right. Come on.
I mean, I know a lot about it, but yeah, I don't want to go into it because.
Anyway,
talking about history is boring unless you're really into it. So
nobody uses a guillotine better than Alice Cooper.
Damn right.
I've seen that guy millions of times in concert. Fantastic. Sometimes he hangs himself too.
Oh, nice.
Did you see him in Milwaukee? Did you see him in Milwaukee?
No. Did I have to see him in Milwaukee, Frank? Could I not see him in Illinois and have the same experience? Or Indiana, for that matter?
He's doing a Wayne's World reference.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Milwaukee.
It just flew right over my head, Frank.
His reference actually...
It's hanging around over top of me.
His references actually go somewhere, Adam. Jesus, come on.
Dude.
Someone else got his reference. So,
like everyone but you. But
Frank 1, Adam 0.
It's just I'm just saying, like the only Alice Cooper thing I can possibly talk about is that's all I know about that guy.
I know he lives in Phoenix, and that's about it.
Jansen, I was just gonna say because you're out here too.
Yeah,
you know where his house is, right?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay, it's I'm not sure exactly. I just know the area where it is. But it's if you drive down Greenway and like the streets somewhere in there, like 19th Street, you look south. There's that mountain right there. One of those houses. I don't know exactly which one, but
so he lives in like Paradise Valley area.
Is Paradise Valley that south? Greenway?
Yeah, Greenway. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You grew up.
Phoenix just said Greenway, a 19th Street, a bunch of other streets. Then there's a mountain, and you knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a grid.
I've lived here my entire life, so I hope I know what he's talking about.
If I say 67th Avenue and Northern, do you know exactly where I mean?
Exactly. The great thing about Phoenix is everything is a grid. So you need a cross street and you need a name of a street, and you know where it's at.
Center Street, Center Avenue, whatever it is, and then from east it goes streets up first, second, third, fourth street. From the west it goes first, second, third, fourth Avenue. You know, ideally those numbers, but
right.
You know who came up with that? Napoleon.
Right.
Napoleon came up with that concept. Seriously.
He got poisoned.
Shut up, Frank.
Just saying.
LSD in his spine.
You'd be amazed how many things we still do today that Napoleon had invented and put into.
He wasn't that short. He wasn't that short.
No,
none of that's true.
No.
Are you saying that because you're about as tall as him, or
he was
just taller than me.
He was 1 inch above average for the time.
Yeah.
Outro.
Good call.
Occurrence
This is supposed to be a 20-minute episode. Sorry.
In two forms, as it was dreamed and as it was lived and died. This is the stuff of fantasy, the thread of imagination, the ingredients of the Twilight Zone.
That's why I loved about it, and that's why Rod loved it. The ingredients of the Twilight Zone. It wasn't a Twilight Zone, but you know what? There was a lot in there that Rod was going for, and he saw a lot of what he was always trying to go for in this. But
my problem with what you just said and what he just said are, and we'll be done with this because I want to finish. this episode looks beautiful compared to season 5 episodes, because season 5 is the fucking laziest season I've ever seen in my life. So it makes you go, oh, remember in the first seasons when they were shooting different sequences and in different locations and things were outside and inside and shit was happening, movement. And now you watch it and it's like, camera sits here. Good luck, bitches. Do your scene. Oh, we're done. Okay. Camera's over here now. We got 5 episodes to do today.
Where's the window at? Okay, set the camera in front of the window.
Yeah. Fly to the window.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so fucking lazy. Season 5 fucking sucks. So this episode in the middle of it, or toward the end, I guess.
Yeah, but you got to give Rod credit for 1, 2, and 3, man. So, just saying.
I'm not disparaging him at all. I'm just saying season 5 fucking sucks. So when you watch this episode, at least me, I'm going, this episode's great. Oh, it's not Twilight Zone. Oh yeah, it's almost.
No wonder it's great in the season.
When we do our top 5, bottom 5 of season 5, Frank, we're not going to discuss this episode. This episode is cast aside.
No, it doesn't count.
This episode is not a Twilight Zone episode.
No.
It's not.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it in any list because it doesn't. Yeah, no. It stands alone.
Hey Jansen, did you know this is not an episode of the Twilight Zone?
I'm sorry, I just woke up. I thought we were done with this episode.
We were about to.
Wishes to plug. Apparently, RedDragonsRadio.com. Adam wishes to plug RaidersOfTheLostFlix.com and on YouTube for movie reviews and pop culture discussions. Frank wishes to get plugged in
Hampton
and for hours and hours.
Forgot.
Oh, and also in the Sports Car Podcast, Way Off Topic Radio Podcast. Phoenix wishes to plug LIWstudios.com for all of our videos and podcasts from Loitering in Wonderland.
Do it, bitches.
Send us your Twilight Zone thoughts in writing or audio to loiteringinwonderland@gmail.
I just remembered something.
What?
I have to say this because I promised Twitter I would.
God damn it, dude.
No, you know I have to do this. Marry, fuck, kill.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
I have to do this. I've been doing this for a while. Occurrence Outgate Bridge. Blah, blah, blah. I slowed through that. I can't believe the numbers on this, but marry for 50%. Somehow it got 10% fuck and 40% kill. Jansen, what'd you vote?
Honestly, I voted Mary on that one. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check my tweet.
He hit the wrong one again.
No, I didn't. I consciously made an effort this time.
I did this week. I did it on What's in the Box. So I went back and voted on 2 different Twitter feeds for the one I wanted. So it would kind of offset it.
Maybe Twitter needs to change their little vote buttons.
No, it was me. I didn't read thoroughly. That's entirely.
Yeah, I voted Mary on this one.
Okay, good. I agree. I'll read this the next one once I read actually what it is. Anyway, until next time. In the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
I'm Frank Links.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
Not Madam Wilcox.
You guys should switch. So long, citizens.
What?
You're 4, Jansen.
I'm 4. Listen, he always waits a few seconds. So I'm like,
does.
I'll just
I
jump
wait
in there.
because everybody always says I wait too. Either I wait too long or I say it too soon.
Exactly.
So I just go last. So
I've been going after Frank for like the past 5 or 6 episodes.
Me, Frank, Adam, Jansen.
I don't give a shit.
It just goes down.
Join the show first.
It's just a you. Okay, it's just a you. Phoenix, Frank, Jansen, Adam. Just
Give a fuck.
All I know is I just say Frank Links after he says what he says.
If we can't argue,
4 years.
What have you been doing here? Okay, I just want to say, let's take a 5-minute break.
5 minutes.
No, let's just roll into the next one. Let's go.
Yeah, let's roll into the next one.
I need a fresh.
We'll take a break after the next one.
My God, fucking queers. Oh.